Welcome to Today's Homeowner with Danny Lipford. Expert advice on improving your home from the pages of Today's Homeowner magazine and professional remodeler Danny Lipford.
Well, I'm glad you joined us this week. I'm taking a look at some of the limbs that are out in the yard. We experienced a hurricane passing through this area just a few days ago. Now, a hurricane or any bad weather can really be a problem when you're in the middle of a remodeling job. Fortunately, on this one, we have all of the shingles complete, the brickwork on the exterior is complete, as well as all of the replacement windows have been installed. Now, this project has included adding several additions to the rear of the house to enlarge the existing master bedroom, as well as the den and kitchen area. Now, since everything's complete on the outside, we'll move inside to show you all of the cabinetry that's been installed. Now, cabinets are one of those elements that really define the quality of any project. We'll show you both stained cabinets and painted cabinets, and we'll talk with our Granite installer about the use of granite for kitchen countertops. Now, if you're about to remodel a bathroom or kitchen, I'm going to give you some great tips in this week's show that'll really help you out. Stay with us. Now, this is always a great idea when you're trying to make a selection on an interior wall color to have the painter apply a few samples of the paint colors you're considering. Makes it a lot easier to make that decision instead of trying to make that decision off a little chip on a paint chart. Now, the painters on the interior are doing great. They've already sprayed 2 coats of flat latex on all of the ceilings, and they're in the process of applying primer and finish coat on all of the interior wood, including these 4 columns. Now, 2 of these columns will be positioned on this end of this area we're calling the reading room or parlor. One will be here, one will be at the other end, the other 2 at the other end of this room. Now, if you'll remember a few weeks ago, we talked about how we poured a slab in what was a sunken living room to level the floor off with the dining room. Now, one of the problems with the house that the homeowners wanted to improve is a larger dining room. By making these floors level, the furniture can now encroach into this area more, making a bigger dining room just what they wanted. Now, I mentioned about the reading room over here. Of course, we've got the bookcases to take care of all of those novels. It's over 12 feet long, 8 foot tall. The cabinet man did a fantastic job in the finish of all of the woodwork here. Now, he was able to obtain this type of good semi-gloss finish by applying the paint with a sprayer in a special paint booth. Really worked out nice. And I mentioned earlier that the painters here on the job used a sprayer for the ceilings. They're also using an Airless sprayer to take care of all of the interior wood doors. Now, many times a painter will use a large room like this master bedroom as his own job site paint booth, as he's done here. You can see how he's lined up all of the interior wood doors to be sprayed. He's applied his first coat of primer, his first coat of finish. He's ready to sand them and put the last coat on. Now, once he's done that, he'll let them dry real well, then he'll be able to reinstall them. Now, what he's using is an Airless sprayer. It's real common out on construction sites, both for interior and exterior use, as well as latex and oil. Just by changing the little tip here on the end, you're able to spray almost any types of paint or stains. Now, you know, if you have a fairly large paint job that you're about to undertake, think about renting either an Airless or various other sprayers that are available through paint stores and rental centers. But talk to the rental center and ask and let them know exactly what kind of job you're about to do, and they can recommend the right sprayer for the job. And of course, remember, anytime that you're about to try this, try it on an area that really doesn't matter very much. Try it in an area such as an old garage wall to really get practice before you go in and start spraying expensive millwork like this. Also, be careful of your overspray. Your overspray can be quite a problem, especially on the exterior, because that wind can make that paint drift over and you may paint your neighbor's car. Also, safety. Remember, your respirator needs to be used, as well as safety goggles anytime you're using any kind of sprayer. Stay with us. Next is our simple solution.
Get ready to review your fix-it list as Danny and home repair pro Alan Lyle show you this week's simple solution.
No, quite possibly one of the most neglected areas of homeowner maintenance is the gutter.
And you know, a poorly maintained gutter can cause you a lot of problems. The debris will get in the gutter, water will accumulate, and it can force the water into your overhang area of your house, cause a lot of damage.
Now, when you're going to clean this out, you need to wear some gloves because you can cut your hands. Here's another alternative though. Take an old antifreeze jug, cut it in such a manner that you've got no lip on the front, but a nice little scoop. And what we're going to do, reach right in. We'll let that clean it out for us. Now, rather than drop it down here and clean it twice, bring a garbage bag up there with you. You'll only have to clean it once.
Now, after Alan gets the majority of the debris out of here, then I can take a water hose and wash the rest of the debris down the downspout. But you need to really make sure that that downspout gets real good and clean, because all of this debris accumulating in there can cause even more problems if you don't clean it properly.
Another good tip you may want to do is take a hammer up there with you, because every now and then you'll run across the gutter nails that are just a little bit loose. Go ahead and take your hammer, tap it in.
Now, that's a good preventative measure, and another good preventative measure is after the gutter's dried well, or you can just take a rag and wipe any of the seams that you may have, then use a good quality gutter and lap sealant that's made for this particular purpose, and that's to take care of any of the seams, to really coat over those from the inside to prevent any cracks from forming in the expansion and contraction.
And a good rule of thumb for cleaning this, once every time the season changes.
Now, here in the master bathroom, the cultured marble contractor has done a great job on the shower. He's created a fairly large one here. The pan area is about 3 foot by 3 foot. And then there in the back, he has just a nice 1 foot deep bench seat. And also the recessed soap dish will be real handy. But now, to finish out the shower itself, our shower door contractor will be in a few days to install a fixed glass panel on this side. It'll turn the corner and have a nice shower door here. Now, we're using clear glass with chrome trim. The clear glass will give, you know, a good spacious feel in there, get plenty of light into the shower area. Now, you know, cultured marbles become so popular because not only is it versatile like this, it's almost maintenance free. Now, he's also created a nice tub area for us here with the surround and the cradle. We'll be positioning a nice acrylic whirlpool tub in here a little bit later, very similar to a countertop with a sink in it, which we have 2 of those in the bathroom. Now, you can see the cultured marble has the molded backsplash that goes right in here. Now, cultured marble is also available with the integrated bowl, but the homeowners decided to go with a little something different in installing this. Now, you know, you can create a nice master bathroom like this and then come in with just a regular 1/4 inch mirror, and you'll lose a little bit of that decorator look to the bathroom. But in this case, we're doing something a little different to create a nice frame around the mirror by using some little millwork rosettes and then some fluted trim around the perimeter of the mirror. This will go all the way around with one of the rosettes, or a lot of people call them bullseyes, in each of the corners. That'll really dress that out, and the painter will be able to come back in and put some nice gloss paint on it. Talking about gloss paint, we're back to the painted cabinets here with a similar finish that we showed you on the bookcases. Now, these are painted cabinets. Let's look at some stained cabinets. Now, the homeowners could have purchased a piece of furniture for their entertainment center, but for basically the same amount of money, they were able to get this custom entertainment center built by the cabinet man. Now, they worked closely with the cabinet maker to design the space exactly to suit their needs, with their television being here in the middle. They left some space above the television for a plant arrangement, and we're planning on putting a couple small lights shining down on it. That'll really be a feature for this whole room. Down below, the cabinet man built some nice drawers for all of the CDs, as well as videotapes and cassettes. Real convenient here right below the TV. On either side, we have the glass doors and the slide out little shelves for all of the audio and video components. By sliding these out like this, gives you good accessibility to the rear of the unit. You know how hard it is hooking up all of those wires. Down below with the grill cloth that we have will allow them to put their speakers behind and close them right up like that. Now this is really a nice piece and will be the focal point for this room and really adds a lot to the great room. Now when we come back after this best new product, we'll take a look at a very impressive kitchen with these same type of cabinets.
It's time to check out the Home Center for this week's best new product with Danny and today's Homeowner Magazine's editor-in-chief, Paul Spring.
Now, Paul, I'll have to admit, I'm a little skeptical of this week's best new product. A ceiling fan with a heater, you've got some explaining to do.
Yeah, I'd be glad to, Danny. Actually, we were a little skeptical when we first heard about the heater, but it also intrigued us. In fact, we have this fan turned upside down so you can take a look at that heating unit. This is unusual, but what it will do is actually extend a 2 or 3 season room into a 3 or 4 season room. So in colder climates, when you have that screen porch and it's getting pretty chilly out there, you're able to really extend your time by a few weeks on it by turning on this auxiliary heat source.
Now, it's a ceramic heater, which is a real efficient use of electricity, but what about the electricity? Is a regular 110 circuit enough for that?
Yes, it is. You don't have to go to 220, it's a regular 110, and it actually operates at 750 watts or 1200 watts at 2 different levels. And you've got a thermostatic control right here on the side, and you can really set a temperature for the room and keep it there.
Okay, now of course people have known for years and how you can reverse the direction of the fan. I guess it works even better with a heater on it.
Well, it does. You've got a 3-speed fan, and not only are you distributing cold air when you need it in the summer, but in the winter you can distribute that heat that's created by the heater.
Okay, fancy fan, fancy price?
Not really. $249. It's from Polonus. It's called the Jan Deck, and it's widely available.
Well, you can see where this would be a great amenity to any outside porch area. You know, it's hard to know what a kitchen will look like until you have all of the cabinets in place. And we were concerned, as we are many times in kitchen spaces, that once the cabinets are in, it'll feel too small. Well, it's not the case here, because the homeowner selected a stain that's fairly light. It's not real dark, and so it really lends to the spaciousness of the room. And also, it's got plenty of room between all of the base cabinets, which gives you plenty of floor space. Now, the basic layout of this kitchen has the built-in microwave oven going here and the regular oven here. Has a real nice large drawer here for all your pots and pans. And then this is a very important aspect when you're designing a kitchen. Have a nice countertop space next to your oven to put down those hot pans. Also, if you have a corner like this, access all of that corner storage space by putting a nice double layer Lazy Susan in. And also in the corner, it's good to have an appliance garage like we have here, so that once the countertop's in, they'll position this in, be able to slide that coffee pot out of the way. Built-in refrigerator cabinet, something that we're doing more and more, gives it that good custom look to wrap that refrigerator with cabinetry. Over on this side, we have the cooktop, which will be a low-profile type of cooktop, and that'll allow the cabinet man to put some drawers underneath there. Then over on this side, we've got the kitchen sink that'll be installed and also the dishwasher that'll be in this area. Almost every kitchen that we remodel now has a nice pantry, and we were able to get a good sized pantry here that's 8 foot tall, 5 foot wide, it's approximately 2 feet deep. But instead of the roll-out drawers or just standard shelving, we put adjustable shelving as well as can racks on the back of all of the doors. Now, this gives good visibility to everything that's stored there in the pantry, and that's real important when you're looking at designing a pantry, whether it's the roll-out drawers or any other way. Make sure you can see everything you have in the pantry. Now, on a bar top like this, you'll notice it's a little taller than the actual countertop height of the kitchen here, so that we're able to have a little bit of a visual break between the breakfast room and the kitchen. Also, with it being at the 42-inch height, it's perfect for standard bar stools. Now, the cabinet man made this countertop when he was building the rest of the cabinetry to match the stained color of this. The rest of the countertops will be granite. Yesterday, we had a chance to talk with the Granite installer about some of the advantages of using granite. Now, George, I know when you're about to install a granite countertop, it's important that the cabinet man's done a good job in making it good and level. How did he do here?
He did a real good job. I checked for levelness just a little while ago. We checked for straightness. Everything's in real good shape. We're ready to come back.
You know, a lot of homeowners think that granite's a lot more expensive than other countertops, but it's really not the case, is it?
That's exactly right. We find that a lot of people perceive that, but that's not correct. We find that the granite is very comparable to the same price as solid surface, in many cases less than solid surface.
Okay, what about advantages though? What's the big advantage of having granite in your kitchen?
Well, that's where we think we come out a lot further ahead. The advantage to granite is you can put a hot pot directly on the surface without burning it. You can also cut directly on the surface without marring it.
Okay, all right. Now, selection-wise, when I was in your showroom last, I was amazed at how many different selections there are of different types of granite from really all over the world. I know they picked granite, I believe you said, from Brazil.
That's correct. People don't realize all the choices we have from granite these days, and we're importing from all over the world. This particular material did come from Brazil. It's called Mariposa. It's a very popular color.
Now this is the 2 centimeter thickness, I understand, and it's also available in a little thicker material, 3 centimeter, I believe.
That's correct. This is 2 centimeter. We seem to sell more of the 2 centimeter. The 3 centimeter is available for a little additional cost.
Okay. Now, of course, you could never get a piece of granite as large as we have here with this L shape. How will you handle the seams in a situation like this kitchen?
Right. This L shape right here will have one seam in it, and for aesthetic purposes, I think we'll put it right here from front to back, which will kind of balance the kitchen. The two sides will be about the same size.
Now, the last kitchen I saw that you did with the dark granite, you could hardly even see the seams. Tell us about the process of putting that together.
You're exactly right. Our seams are very non-offensive. We take pride in what we do. We use a poly resin when we bond our seams together, and we tint the resin the same color as the stone. So it blends in well and very hard to find.
Okay. Now, part of the selection for a homeowner also deals with the edging. You can have a very simple square edge or the radius edge, but there's several other kinds. I know you have kind of a diagram there to show some of the selections available on that.
You're exactly right. After the color selection, we start looking at the edge details we have to offer. And in the 2 centimeter material, you'll notice that we have everything from a flat polish edge to an ogee. This particular customer picked a full radius edge. I particularly care for this one myself. It makes the granite appear to be a little thicker than it normally is.
Okay. Of course, on any of these edges, I know you have to do a lot of polishing around that, and that's one of the things I love about kitchens with granite is you're able to put that kitchen sink under the actual counter and then polish that edge. I understand the sink's going here, and you're doing that here, I understand.
That's exactly correct. We have a nice large cabinet here that's going to enable us to come in and put a undermount sink in there and to polish the edges, which will really dress it up and allow the customer to be able to wipe just directly over into the sink without having the edge there.
Okay, all right. Of course, you do a lot of work in kitchens with granite, but you do a lot of work in other parts of the house as well. What are some of the other areas of a typical house you're working in?
You're right. We're finding ourselves starting to move deeper into the house. We're doing a lot of fireplaces. Almost every house that we do the kitchen, we do a complimentary fireplace. We're also doing a lot of work in the vanity areas. We do marble floors, and granite countertops are making a great addition to the master bath. Okay.
Well, George, I look forward to seeing all of this installed, and I look forward to showing it to you here in just a couple weeks. And when you're thinking about doing some remodeling, this is a strong trend, good durable materials such as granite, so consider it in other parts of the house other than just your kitchen. Next, around the yard.
Now for a bit of news from the great outdoors as Danny takes a look around the yard.
It's sometimes necessary to remove a large branch from a tree that may be dead or diseased, or when one branch is crossing over the other. When removing a large branch, avoid tearing bark from the main trunk using this 3-cut method. By using a pruning saw, make the first cut 1 to 2 feet out from the trunk. Cut the bottom 1/3 of the way through. Now make the second cut on top of the branch about 1 inch farther out. The branch will then break between the 2 cuts. Then you're able to make the third cut just outside the branch collar, which is the wrinkled or swollen area at the branch base. Now remember, do not cut the branch flush with the trunk, or the wound will take longer to heal, inviting insects and disease. Now the new replacement windows that were installed on the front of the house are aluminum and they're double pane glass. Now they look good and they'll really help the energy efficiency of the house.